Hi, it's Rob the Frugalist here. Here we are looking at a shower riser. This shower riser is a great example of modern day planned obsolescence. This looks like chrome, looks really cool, really sleek. Actually, it's plastic and you can see where it's cracked and it's rusting away. Where it's not plastic, that is. Thinly covered chrome. It's a whole load of rubbish. You can buy these anywhere. Amazon are great for them. Amazon will have literally 100 people selling you thousands of these things, which will just last for about a year. It's ridiculous. You've got to get yourself out of this trap. You cannot buy a metal one of these. I've looked on Amazon, I've looked on the internet. These just simply don't exist. I once phoned up Myra, as it happened, who produced these. I said, what's your highest quality one? He said 30 quid. Thought, okay, what's it made out of? Plastic. How long is it guaranteed for? A year. That shows how much confidence that they have in these things. Now, is it their fault they're producing it? Well, we're buying these things. This is why, and they will end up on the tip. The problem is, because they're so cheap, people think, it's only £12, £15, and then they'll buy another one next year. They'll maybe it'll last longer. Well, maybe it won't. And when we got our house, we had one of these old school ones here, which I've just installed, and I'll show you how I did that later. And it's been hanging around for 20 years. Okay. Oh yeah, but they're more expensive. Yeah, they're about £50, £60 and more if you can afford it. But £50, £60 over 20 years is much better than £12 a year. £12 a year, 10 years, £120, 20 years, £240, plus the time it takes for you to repair it, plus the landfill and the bad for the environment. And in fact, it's just the wrong thing to do. And companies have got to stop doing the wrong thing to do, because it's not good for their customers in the long term and their environment. And the reason why they continue doing it is because we keep paying them to do it. So if you want to stop them from doing that, then stop buying this cheap plastic tat and start investing in real quality that will actually last you some time. So I hope this video is of use to you, maybe some inspiration to you. It's not your fault if you get caught by this. They look chrome, they look like the real deal, but they're not. And I think it is, some companies share a little bit of corporate responsibility in this, producing the wrong thing. We're quick to jump on the back of tobacco producers and drinks producers, etc. But this is just plain common sense. Why sell tat? Well, firstly, we've got to stop buying it. Stay tuned, watch, and you'll see a couple of the mistakes or the problems I've encountered. This is completely solid. I can't use it along the way. We're going to look at replacing this. This here, you can see it's cracked, it's broken. It cost me about £12 about a year ago. A year before that, it cost me about £12. And I think in a year's time, it's going to cost me another £12 to fix, and a year after that. So after a while, through 5 or 6 years, it's going to cost me upwards of around £100. So this is the problem with being frugal, is it's not always obvious what the right choice is. These planned obsolescence things are traps, and you need to be able to avoid the traps if you want to be frugal. How do you do that? You've got to buy quality. Okay, I cannot emphasize enough. Quality will save you time in the long run, and money in the long run too. When we got this house we're living in now, in the other bathroom there is a shower riser rail made of solid metal, pretty much, or just all metal components, and it's been going for upwards of 15, 20 years now. Okay, this thing lasts 1 year versus 15, 20 years still going strong. Okay, so we've bought the similar one. It's cost around £50, £60. That's expensive, sure, but I'm not going to need to fix it in 2 years, 1 year, another 5 years, whatever it is. That's the thing. So if you want to be frugal, sometimes you actually have to spend a little bit more up front, so you won't be paying more later. Otherwise, you're effectively renting this. It lasts a year, and next year you have to pay again, and next year you have to pay again, and you want to be avoiding that. So we're going to have a go at doing that right now. Okay, this is what I'm going to show you. I'm going to be removing the existing bar and replacing it with this bar here, which is a lot heavier, a nice bit of chrome. It's actually chrome, it's got a nice heavyweight feel to it. And to do that, you'll notice that there are two holes, not one. So I'm going to reuse one of the holes that are being used for this. And then to the left of it or the right of it, I'm going to drill another hole. Now to do that, I need to have a 8mm drill bit. So I've got one of those diamond tipped, and I'll show you that in just a second. This is what they look like. So they've got basically a bits of diamond in it. I don't know how valuable that is, but they're not cheap. But they've got a bit of wax in there, and it basically helps it keep it cool when you're drilling through porcelain. Otherwise you'll be there forever with one of the other drill bits. And I've done this upstairs, and I'm there for 45 minutes trying to get through something without cracking it. So this I've never used before. I'm going to give it a go. We'll see how it goes. And then we just reinstall the new one. Now I'll also put a little bit of sealant around each of the attachments to prevent water ingress. It's as simple as that. And then I'll be free of this ridiculous situation with having to buy a new piece every 1 to 2 years. It's infuriating. Let's go. So 3 simple steps. First one, remove. Second one, drill. Third one, attach with the sealant. Job done. Here's a good tip. This is the first one I've done up here, and when I measured for it, I drew a little circle, which is this smaller one here. Now it's okay to measure up and do all your measuring up front, but as soon as you've made your first cut, measure again, because you will introduce error just because that's the way it goes with your first drill or whatever. And when you put it in, then you'll get a much more accurate reading the second time. You can see here, this one is a bit further out now. So now I know I need to drill a bit further out, rather than do all the measuring and do all the drilling all at once and then end up with something that just doesn't marry up properly. And as a result, you've got yourself into a mess, because usually you're not off by much, but it's enough to ruin the connection. So always measure after every drill and every cut, just to make sure what you're doing is absolutely right. When you make that second measurement, mark it slightly differently so you don't make that mistake. This is completely solid. I can't use it. Have a look down there. It's just gone off. This is brand new. I say brand new, I got it in 2019. That's when it's produced anyway. But don't ever buy this stuff. I don't know, it could have been me, but it's just a faulty product. So I'm going to go with some older stuff to avoid any problems with any water ingress. But yeah, this has stumped me a little bit, so I need to go downstairs and find something else that will work better. Wilco kitchen sealant to the rescue, mold resistant, paintable. I've used it before, but it seems to be still usable, so we're going to use that instead. So I've put some sealant around the edges there, so that should help seal it in, and if there's any possible for ingress, that's stopped. There we go. We're all done. This is in. This is pretty strong. I could hang off it probably. I'm not going to tempt fate. So all I have to do is take the shower thing, fit it on up here. It's going nowhere. Problem solved. All I have to do is relax. Except for, of course, clear all the mess that I've created. So all of this is going to be put away. It's always tidy up. Anyway, I hope that was useful to you. Always buy quality. It will help you out in the long run. Okay, and I hope that's helped you recognise some of the traps that we all find ourselves falling into from time to time of that whole, what's it called again? Planned obsolescence.